A year ago, everybody was talking about Bitcoin. Every headline was about ETFs. Every discussion was about institutional adoption. Every prediction was about new all-time highs. Today, the conversation has changed. Now it's all about AI, OpenAI, Anthropic, NVIDIA, data centers, AI infrastructure, and why Wall Street is changing the next AI breakthrough. Bitcoin is sitting near $64,000. Ethereum is struggling, and crypto investors are wondering what happened. So the question isn't why is Bitcoin down? But instead, the real question to ask is, has Wall Street moved on from Bitcoin? Or is something much bigger happening behind the scenes? Let's get into it. Before we talk about Bitcoin, we need to talk about the Federal Reserve, because whether you like it or not, the Fed still controls the flow of money through the financial system. This week we had the first major Federal Reserve meeting under Kevin Warsh, and the market was paying very close attention. Why? Because investors wanted to know one thing: are rate cuts coming, or are rates staying higher for longer? The answer wasn't exactly what many investors wanted to hear. Rates were left unchanged, but the tone remains cautious. The Fed is still focused on inflation, and that matters because liquidity drives markets. When money is cheap, risk assets usually perform well. When money becomes expensive, risk assets struggle. That's not just Bitcoin, that's stocks, that's crypto, that's almost everything. And right now, liquidity remains tighter than any investor expected at the start of the year. But that's only one part of the story, because while the Fed was meeting, something else was happening. Oil prices were falling, and that caught my attention. Earlier this year, the Strait of Hormuz became one of the most closely watched locations in the whole world. We all know because 20% of global oil shipment passed through that route. When tensions increased, market worried about supply distributions. Oil prices surged, inflation, fear returned, and investors became nervous. But recently, oil has started moving lower again. That's important because lower oil price can reduce inflation pressure, and lower inflation gives central bank more flexibility, not immediately, not tomorrow, but eventually. And when liquidity conditions improve, risk assets tend to benefit, including Bitcoin. Now let's talk about gold, because something unusual is happening. Traditionally, when uncertainty rises, money flows into gold. But recently, gold has struggled to build momentum. Why? Because investors are not looking for safety, they are looking for growth. And that's where the real story begins. Stay with me here. For years, Bitcoin was the future, Bitcoin was the disruption, Bitcoin was the technology story. Today, AI has taken that role. Think about where the attention is. NVIDIA, OpenAI, Anthropic, AI chips, semiconductors, AI data centers, and AI infrastructure, SpaceX. Every major institution wants exposure. Every hedge fund wants exposure. Every investor wants exposure. And capital follows narratives. That's one of the oldest rules in markets. So money follows attention. And right now, all the attention is flowing into AI, not crypto. The sad truth is, now before anyone misunderstand me, that does not mean Bitcoin is dead. It does not mean Ethereum is dead. It does not mean crypto is finished. It means capital is rotating. And markets do that all the time. We've seen it before during the dot-com era. During the mobile revolution, during cloud computing, the strongest narrative attracts the most capital. And today, AI is the strongest narrative in the market. That's why IPO's story matters, because many of the biggest AI companies are still private. OpenAI, Anthropic, and other AI leaders. Investors know these opportunities are coming, and they are positioning themselves early. If these IPOs eventually arrive, they could attract enormous amounts of capital. So pension funds, institutional investors, retail investors, everyone wants exposure. And that means Bitcoin isn't just competing with gold anymore. Bitcoin is competing with AI for capital, for attention, for investment, dollars. Now, let's bring Ethereum into the conversation because Ethereum has suffered even more than Bitcoin, and many investors have become frustrated. But here's the thing, the fundamental and the price are not the same thing. Ethereum still powers a huge part of decentralized finance. It still secures billions of dollars. It still supports stablecoins. It still supports smart contracts. The ecosystem remains active. The technology remains relevant. And the price has fallen, yes, significantly. These are two different things, and investors often confuse them. So where does all that leave us? Bitcoin is under pressure. Ethereum is under big pressure. AI is attracting capital. The Federal Reserve remains cautious and global uncertainty has not disappeared. Those are the facts. But here's another fact. Bitcoin has survived every major challenge thrown at it. Exchange collapses, regulatory attacks, bank failures, bear markets, wars, hacks, and every single time people declared Bitcoin finished, yet somehow it kept coming back. So what is my view? I don't think the next major move in Bitcoin starts with Bitcoin. I think it starts with liquidity. It starts with inflation, it starts with interest rates, and it starts with where capital decides to go next. Right now, AI is winning the battle for attention, but markets move in cycles and attention eventually shifts. The question is not whether attention will shift again. The question is when. Because when liquidity improves and when capital begins rotating once more, Bitcoin may find itself back into the spotlight much faster than people expected. History shows something interesting. The biggest opportunity rarely appears when everyone agrees. They usually appears when attention is somewhere else. And today, attention is on AI. Tomorrow, it could be somewhere else completely different. So let me ask you, has Wall Street moved on from Bitcoin? Or is Bitcoin simply waiting for its next catalyst? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, follow me on X for daily updates, join our Telegram community. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Lamia, and I'll see you in the next one.